In a few moments, I will sign a historic executive order instituting reciprocal tariffs on countries throughout the world. Reciprocal, that means they do it to us and we do it to them. Very simple. Can't get any simpler than that. Those days are over. Let me offer just a few examples of the vicious attacks our workers have faced for so many years. The United States charges other countries only a 2.4 tariff on motorcycles. Meanwhile, Thailand and others are charging much higher prices, like 60%. India charges 70%. Vietnam charges 75%, and others are even higher than that. Likewise, until today, the United States has for decades charged a 2.5 tariff. Think of that, 2.5% on foreign-made automobiles. The European Union charges us more than 10% tariffs, and they have 20% VATs, much, much higher. India charges 70%, and perhaps worst of all are the non-monetary restrictions imposed by South Korea, Japan, and very many other nations. As a result of these colossal trade barriers, 81% of the cars in South Korea are made in South Korea. 94% of the cars in Japan are made in Japan. Toyota sells 1 million foreign-made automobiles into the United States, and General Motors sells almost none. Ford sells very little. None of our companies are allowed to go into other countries. And I say that, friend and foe. And in many cases, the friend is worse than the foe in terms of trade. But such horrendous imbalances have devastated our industrial base and put our national security at risk. I don't blame these other countries at all for this calamity. I blame former presidents and past leaders who weren't doing their job. They let it happen, and they let it happen to an extent that nobody can even believe. That's why, effective at midnight, we will impose a 25% tariff on all foreign-made automobiles.
Welcome back, everybody. So this is gonna be a quick update video for you guys on big mega cap stocks. So before we get started, please slap that like button, and that is greatly appreciated. And if you're new to this channel and just watching and have not subscribed yet, please do so, because that will help us to get to 10,000 subscribers. Now, if you're really serious about trading and you want all types of trade ideas, daily trade ideas, swing trade ideas, live trading, and any help you need to become a better trader, definitely check out my link down below in the description for Patreon. And now let's get right into it. But before we get to these mega cap stocks, I want to look at the headline here, and you can see Trump to impose higher than expected tariffs. Market drops, huge drop. Q's down 3.5, SPY down nearly 3%, and IWM down, I think, 5%, which is big. So, Trump dropping the ball on everybody and saying that, I mean, you can see, I mean, he came out with this, big board where it says who's getting what and how much they're getting. And I actually have this on my thumbnail that he came out with this on stock market update. So definitely check it out if you have not checked out my stock market update. And that is the news from the market. You can see Dow future tumbles 700 points, but who knows if this drop is just to buy the dip tomorrow. I know people are scared and all that, but I have seen these moves before, many times where everybody's running for the door, and guess what, market will just bottom right there. I'm not saying that's a guarantee. From my experience, that that's all I can say, that that can actually happen tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to it. Hope this week so far a fantastic week. We made good money, good progress. Not even one losing trade. And if this market stays down tomorrow, we might be cashing in even more, especially only if the market stays down. Now let's get to some of these big names and see what they did today and what they're doing right now. On Apple stock, it was slightly up on the day, and now it's down almost 8%, because a lot of these Apple phones are made in China, right? And some of these phones are made in India and all that. So if those are coming, back from India and China and all that, guess what? We will have a lot of jobs. That is the only good part about this tariff news, right? We'll have more jobs, but jobs are not there right now. It's not right now. it's later, maybe later if they bring these companies back to US. As of right now, this is bad for inflation, super bad. So that is the scary part about this tariff news, and that is why the market is selling off. When was the last time you saw Apple down nearly 8% after closing? With earnings, sometime it happens, but always, Apple is the stock to buy the dip. So here on Apple, guys, already down to this key level. We actually made a new low here after our session, taking out 208 and down to this lower Bollinger Band at this point. So watch out tomorrow, depending on how we open 207 to 206 area right here. If that don't hold, next stop is 200. And I already grabbed some shares of Apple because I know it's really good to look at because it's down 17-18 bucks, and I just don't like to miss out on it completely. So Apple definitely worth looking at it if you're looking to buy tomorrow. Now, if this thing cannot hold 207, then it can drop, like I said, 200, flat 200, possibly, can go there. If this thing is able to hold here, then watch out for a bounce, possibly back up to right here, 215, maybe even 220. And I mean, it's kind of crazy. We closed over to 20, and now I'm talking about these levels again that we have to go through tomorrow morning, unless they do a rescue mission overnight, which can actually happen. So there is a good chance, tomorrow morning you might not see that dip, or possibly you see a bigger dip and then the market rallies back up to the upside. Here's my X account, and if you guys are on there, definitely give me a follow. And there is no subscription, nothing here on X. Is totally free, and you can always ask me a question if you have. It's the easiest way to get in touch with me right here on X. Now, I did update the stock market here, so if you guys want to watch, that is also on my YouTube channel. But I want to share these fantastic trade ideas right here from today, guys. It was fantastic to get in early morning. Look at this, 9:31 a.m. in SPX calls 5700, and pretty much going in the money. We caught 60 points to the upside, and that's $60. Huge, right? So this trade was really good. And there was this one from 31st of last month. We actually added, I went live yesterday, called it to add even more into this position. It was cheap. It was really cheap. And this thing also hitting out of the park, and a smaller position actually got really big. I had 500 contracts on this play, and all out cheap calls, low risk to the moon. So all these trade ideas, and if you're really serious, and if you want to make money like my Patreon members, and they're the sponsor of this video, you can see right here, Supra again hitting out of the park, Adley also hitting out of the park. Here's another SPX. It depends. Some people may have smaller account, but that is a big profit for them because it's a small account. Some people have big account, like here in this case. This guy's been with me for almost 4 years now, hitting out of the park pretty much every day. Yes, whenever we lose, losses are also bigger, but the main thing here, you got to win more and you got to lose less in the market. So if you want all types of trade ideas and you're really serious about trading, definitely check out the link down below in the description for Patreon, guys. On Microsoft, it was actually flat on the day, and this thing now down to 371. So considering how much Apple is down, this one is down not even 3%. So Microsoft, definitely we're under this 380 zone. So the key level to watch, lower Bollinger Band and bottom of this candle, which is 367. If that's out, we might see Microsoft going down, yeah, even more. Depending on how things open, if we can stay around 371 to 374, close to the lower Bollinger Band, we might see some sort of a bounce back up to 380 tomorrow. Again, guys, it's really hard to do technical analysis when there is a massive gap down right after closing because nobody knows where the heck things are gonna open tomorrow. On AMD was up 0.18%. So just when you think AMD was out of the woods, right here, this thing gap down, and now with another gap down, closing and going under 100, which is not a good news for AMD bulls right here. Tomorrow we might be retesting this low down here, 94 to 95. So keep an eye on that. If you're looking to buy the dip, Definitely fantastic opportunity on AMD. To the upside, depending on where things open, if we can open over 100, then watch out for a move up to 106.52, maybe after this gap, 108.68 on AMD. On Meta, it's down 5%. So, boy, oh boy, down almost $30. And looks like it's going to open somewhere here, guys. And we might be closing this gap tomorrow. So, there is support right here around 551. And we came back here. And now looks like if that's actually, out, this support, we might be filling this gap right here at 544. So, that is something to watch. We had this, nice move up, back up to the upside that I bought actually Monday, this dip. And now we're back down to where I actually bought. And I don't have any position on Meta. We sold out completely, but this could be a fantastic opportunity if the market and these big names rallies back up to the upside tomorrow. Now, there will be a retracement if this thing opens here, 551, or maybe opens here to this gap, 544. There will be some sort of a retracement back up to this lower Bollinger Band, which is sitting at 566. So watch out, that might be your upside if you can catch at the right time. On Amazon, stock is down 6%, so everything getting absolutely decimated. And you can see Amazon will be opening here, guys, 184 tomorrow. So that is a key zone, key level of support. If that gives up, the next level will be 180. Now we still left a huge gap open here on top, another one here, and we're just gapping down and going down. So here on Amazon, 184 can hold. Maybe you can catch a move up to 190. Keep an eye on that. That could be a nice day trade. I'm not saying, to go long and go crazy tomorrow. There is going to be lots of volatility tomorrow because VIX just shooting up like crazy. So watch out here on Amazon. If this thing opens at 180, that would be even better because there will be a retracement up to this lower Bollinger Band. And it's kind of sad to say that it's going to retrace the lower Bollinger Band. Usually, it comes back from the upside and retraces down to these moving averages. And now we are talking about retracing, going down below the lower Bollinger Band and then coming back up. So it's a good setup if you can, manage risk. So definitely keep an eye on that as well right here on Amazon. On Google, stock is down 3%. So again, I mean, it was just up, yesterday. It was trying to move back up, and now it's back down to not even holding 155. The next key level is 152 and then 148. To the upside, depending on where things open, 155 looks like now that would be a resistance tomorrow. If we can clear that, then the next stop, 158 and then 162, 163.85 gap on top also will be a resistance to watch. On Netflix, it was up 0.77%, and now it's down to 900 once again. I mean, this bear flag is just not going away. And now 904 gives up. It's sitting right here at the support. Tomorrow, we might see a flush down to lower Bollinger Band. So that is something I would like to short again because I made good money. And with earnings coming up, I mean, it can go down, guys. It can go down significantly. I don't think I'll be wrong if this thing makes a move on earnings at 704 to close this gap because I mean look at this new all-time highs, and now if you look at it, I mean it's kind of like a big head and shoulder pattern here. We got the left shoulder, we got this massive head, and the right shoulder is forming. So if it wants to come down, it's kind of sloppy, but it's there. If it wants to come down, it can come down rapidly. Resistance will be now at 936, so watch out if this thing gets up to that level. That would be a nice short the pop right here on Netflix. Of course, manage your risk because this thing moves fast and contracts are not cheap. On Tesla stock, it's up over 5%, and now with the news down almost 6%, it was down over 6%. Now, a news for Tesla, Elon Musk may be coming out of a Doge, and that's why we saw some really bullish price action with some high volume. Technically, that is extremely bullish, but what happened after hour, I can't really say that anymore. I was going to say that, hey guys, we got some really high volume buying, and I think people want Elon Musk to come out of that Doge, thing, and then just be a Tesla CEO and run these companies and help people other ways than going into the government. That was really bullish. But with this now, I mean, everything is kind of like in the air. Who knows where things are going tomorrow, right? But again, like I said over and over, even on my stock market update, when there is a lot of bad news, a lot of fear, guess what? Market bottoms. And that's why, I'm not saying tomorrow we're going to bottom completely and this is it, we're going to all-time highs. Don't take my word, in a wrong way, because a lot of people say, hey, bottom might be in, bottom, this is the bottom and all that. That is not what I'm calling. But on a bad news, everything, bad, and then, market gaps down, typically, things can play out back up to the upside. So, you got to be really mindful of that tomorrow, when you see the market, going down right at opening and opening down, over 3-4%. So Tesla here, guys. I mean, this thing definitely, there is support here at 258 underneath that level. There is also support at 255, 20-day moving average, and then 240. As long as you can hold here, especially with the volume today, they can possibly push it back up to, and you can see we got a nice close today over 280, but it's obviously not holding. So maybe tomorrow, if this thing stays down, we might see the gap on top getting filled at some point. On Nvidia stock, it was actually flat on the day, and now it's down almost 5%. So Nvidia, yes, we know about this death cross right here that is happening, 50 SMA crossing below the daily 200, and yes, we got this downtrend, also lower highs and lower lows. With that being said, guys, market is down now quite a bit. S&P 500 down nearly 4%, and let me just check. We got SPY down nearly 4%. We got Q's down nearly 5%, which is awesome. Q's down $22. And I know some people may not like that I said it's awesome, because I see a big opportunity tomorrow morning, to make money. And some people that are actually, maybe gambling and buying and holding overnight, thinking that, Trump might be pumping the market, or maybe there is a big drop. I mean, if you got puts, congratulations, totally fine. You're gonna make big money right at opening. But if you're holding only calls and you're only a big bull, that is not the right approach how the market is going right now. So it's a great opportunity tomorrow. There's gonna be plenty of plays on Patreon tomorrow. I'll be going shopping big time, big shopping, guys, tomorrow. So here on Nvidia, looks like we're actually down here, close to that low that we made Monday, 104 area. But if that, don't hold, we might be landing down here at 96. And I've been talking about it in my video for past couple months that Nvidia, my target to the downside, 68. That is where I might go and buy couple thousand shares, not 1,000, not 2,000, couple thousand shares and go long here. Not gonna buy all at once. That's not what I do, but slowly we'll just, buy into it as this thing makes a move to the downside. So if it actually stays here at 104 to maybe 100 area, watch out for that. But the key level of support would be right down here at 96 and then 90. Upside resistance will be at 107. And if this thing can clear that tomorrow, then we can talk about more upside, but it's nowhere near 107 right now. So I don't know how things are going to open tomorrow, but things just got a little bit deeper. And again, guys, I'm not trying to say anything that's going to create any panic out there. And definitely I have seen this many times in my lifetime. This is nothing, 5 4%. We're just down, and I see that as an opportunity. You guys saw those plays that we took today. Even though the market is coming down, we're playing along. We're buying at the right time, selling at the right time, then we're buying back. So as long as you can play the market, how the market wants you to play it, you'll be fine. But if you're going and now tomorrow morning you go and buy a put, that's not me. Tomorrow morning I'm not buying any puts. Even the market goes down another 10, $15, I'm not gonna touch a single put tomorrow morning. I'd rather buy longer term calls or even shares and hold them and average into it. If it goes down another $10, then go and buy puts. Now these people, they think if the market is crashing, I'm just gonna load up on puts. But you have to look at the technicals, and where with a lot of bad news, again, I said that a few times in this video, and with all the bad news, all the fear, guess what? The market will just put a bottom, a short-term bottom, or there will be, forget about bottom. There will be some sort of a rally back up to the upside, and then all the shorts, everybody just gets trapped. So you don't want to go and short inside the hole. You want to wait Shorting into the hole is the biggest mistake for traders, and I see people doing it every now and then and just losing money right and left. So tomorrow, definitely, guys, there is going to be plenty of call outs coming out tomorrow. And it's also first of the month, so if you want to take advantage, go for that annual membership, and the links will be down below in the description. And there is going to be plenty of trades that are coming out from my Patreon tomorrow morning. And that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much, and have a great night, everybody.